Yeah, like every show, party, wake up early, show, party, wake up early. Like you feel it so quick and you see the effects very fast.
Love music more. Love music more. Ooh, love music more.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Love Music More. I'm Scoobert Dubert, about to be joined by Cal Kevany. He is an incredible guitarist. He makes a bunch of sick TikToks. He has an incredible EP. He also hits the road with a ton of incredible indie bands, indie artists like Wallice. So I know my wife listens to some of Wallice's music all the time. So it's really cool to be able to hear some stories, hear what it's like out there, and I think you're going to really enjoy it because it's a pretty unfiltered look at what it actually looks like doing van tours and what goes into it, what the routines are like, what it's like to be on your first tour versus your 100th tour. Great conversation. Really excited to hop into it. Before we do, I'd like to introduce my title sponsor, DistroKid. DistroKid makes music distribution fun and easy with unlimited uploads, and artists get to keep 100% of royalties and earnings. 1 million plus artists rely on DistroKid to get their music onto Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, TikTok, Tidal, Instagram, and all of the major streaming services. And we have a code for you. If you go to distrokid.com/VIP/lovemusicmore, all one word, you get 30% off today. So yeah, kick off your career. I use DistroKid. I love it. I'm able to put up a bunch of music. It's part of the reason why I put up a bunch of music is DistroKid enabled me to do that. They actually, are partly to blame for the idea of my deluge of music that I like to release. So check out DistroKid, and I hope you enjoy this conversation.
Love music more. Love music more. Ooh, love music more. Love music more. Music more. Music more. Music more.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Love Music More. I am Scoobert Dubert, and I'm joined with Cal Kevany. Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm a guitarist myself, so I'm super excited
Oh,
to talk
nice.
about your guitar journey, your hot takes on the guitar, if you have any, and also what it's like, playing, going on the road, working with other artists, working on your own music, kind of your jazz background, how that leads into indie guitar and indie rock. Yeah, man, a bunch of stuff that I'm super excited to talk about.
Definitely.
Yeah. So first question, I'd love to hear just about the kind of touring life. I know that you're playing with Wallice, and one thing that I thought was crazy, so I was lurking your Instagram, and I saw Sean Sobash.
Sean, yeah.
I went to
Sobash.
high school with Sobash.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
The first band I ever played in, I was subbing for Sobash.
Oh, yeah, because you're San Diego guy,
I was
right?
San Diego,
Yeah.
Yep.
Sick.
Yeah, he's killer bassist, so I had to learn all of his bass parts. I was a guitarist that never played bass before, and I had to learn all of his bass parts. I'm like, crap, this guy's super good.
He's crazy, yeah. That's awesome.
So yeah, small world, dude. Small world.
Yeah, just spent 5 weeks with him, so it
Sweet.
was
Crazy.
great.
That's awesome. I haven't seen him in forever. So how's the what's the tour lineup like? How's the kind of rig? What's the setup? And I'd love to hear some stories about the road.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So this past tour, I was playing with my friend Lulu Simon.
Cool.
We were opening for Aiden Bissett. It was 26 shows. With this kind of opening setup, we were doing guitar, me, Sean was playing bass and running tracks. Originally we were going to have a drummer, and there was a lot of miscommunication about what was going on. We thought we were for sure bringing a drummer. The headliner, they had no idea that was the plan. So about few weeks before we were supposed to leave, this was before we even started rehearsing or anything. Yeah, the headliner, his TM was talking our TM, which is Wallice was TMing, which was really fun.
Really? Cool.
Yeah. And
A tour
so
manager for people that tour.
Oh yeah, sorry. Tour
No,
manager.
You're good.
And he was like, so I'm assuming it's just going to be you and Lulu and probably a sound guy, right? Maybe. She's like, oh, we actually plan to have a full band. And that completely blindsided him. He's like, okay, I got a lot to think about. a lot more logistics to think about now.
Yeah.
And like right off the bat, I'm gonna say there's no possibility of bringing drums. So we're just like, okay, we can figure this out. So we just like have all the drums in the tracks, and then Sean and I are playing our live instruments. So it was a nice blend of tracks and instruments. Sometimes it can be a little tough, like filling out a live show when there's so many tracks, but I think it worked out great.
Cool. Yeah, it's actually, I think that's a thing that a lot of people might just go to shows and they'll see the opener like, oh, no drums. But they won't realize like, yeah, maybe the opener wanted to have drums. It's just as the reality, the logistics. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. So how were you running tracks? Was it like just off of like a laptop, or were you splitting out a bunch of like stems and stuff like that? Or was it like just a simple like stereo out to the mix board? I'm always just curious on.
Oh,
if
sure.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we actually got a great music director, Antoine Fadavi, and he set up everything for us. So he took
Cool.
all of Lulu's songs, got all the tracks in Ableton. He did a great job. I think he pretty much had to like mix all the stems, and he made them sound great. They were super balanced. That was all stereo outgoing in front of house. And he just also like the parts that he omitted, where he gave Sean and I direction, like play these parts. Everything was, I think he really picked the perfect parts to make the live show still like interesting and engaging. Because sometimes I'll be playing a guitar part and I'm like, this could be in the tracks. It's not super exciting, but yeah, he made it feel very live, which was cool.
That is cool. I've had those gigs where like the tracks are so dense that it's basically like I'm just a backup dancer. Like,
Yeah. Definitely.
So it's great to be able to like make those decisions, and then also like as the player to be able to like know like what are you supposed to play, because that's also can be super hard when you're just kind of like, hey, learn this song. And we're like, there's 13 guitars and like doubling a synth part. Like I have no idea what the hell you want me to play.
Definitely. Yeah. So like a good music director that just lays it out exactly everything you're going to play, it makes it really great. And just rehearsals are smooth. The songs feel better because you really have a good idea of your role in supporting every song, you know?
That's a great point too, of just like when you have some decisions made for you, or you kind of know your lane, it's a lot easier to like paint within that, or like really focus and do your thing. Like I always talk about like I'm a mix engineer, and I always like it when people make decisions so that I can then like jump off of your decisions rather than just like send me all of the raw like track by track. It's like, no, you can print some stems, or like you can put the reverb on it if you want. Like tell me what you're looking for, and then I'll work with it. When people don't make any decisions, then it's almost like you get paralysis, or you're not like really thinking creatively. You're thinking like logistically, and yeah, sometimes that's paralyzing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Super curious if you have any strategies for learning songs, because I know this is like a fun thing for people that like. I'm sure that you've had the situation just like, hey, end of the week we're rehearsing. Here's a whole bunch of songs that you need to learn. Like, how do you go about tackling it? Like, what are some of your strategies?
Yeah. So I like to organize chords based on like Roman numerals.
Okay.
So the 7 chords that you have in any key, 1 major, 2 minor, 3 minor, 4 major, 5 dominant, 6 minor, 7 diminished. I've learned to just really organize songs in terms of the Roman numerals basically. So what I like to do is I'll listen to all the songs, and even before like learning about the form, I feel like getting the chord progression and being familiar with that's where I like to get my starting point. So I'll just think like this is in like G, we're going 1, 6, 2, 5 as an example, and then just getting the chord progressions of each section. So I'll go through the verses, choruses, kind of write down the chord progressions, and then I just listen, usually with a notebook, and I'll have like my staffs with the bars and kind of write the chords as they're going along while I'm listening.
Okay.
And then taking note of like how many bars the verses are, the choruses are, and when they're happening. So just having like a mental and visual roadmap
Yeah.
that you can use them together
Okay.
to really memorize the songs. And yeah, so just for song structure and the chords, that's how I go about it. Then when it comes to like adding in, a lot of times I'll also have to play like lead lines and different melodies. That one just comes down to like listening to the songs a lot, because I feel like you can learn a melody
Mhm.
pretty easily,
Mhm.
but to really internalize it, you have to hear it so many times and be able to hear it back in your head. Yeah, so there, like on my Spotify Wrapped, there'll just be so many artists that I've learned sets for,
Mhm.
just like hundreds of minutes to listen to all those songs, because yeah, there's not really an easy way around it for me anyway.
I totally agree. Especially for like nuance. And one of the things that I've had a hard time with, especially for people that are very pop, like you're saying, like very diatonic, like
Mhm.
in the bag, is when you have two songs that are similar tempos
Yeah.
and similar chord progressions, but like there's just
Mhm.
like a couple things that are swapped, or like this bridge versus that bridge feel the same, but they're very different. Like one moment or something like that. Is that the same thing? Like you have to anchor yourself just by like really getting into the melody and being in the moment, and like is that are those some of the things, or do you have like a cheat sheet that you write on your set list, or like what do you do to like
Yeah.
keep that fresh?
Probably a cheat sheet could be useful, but I've never thought to do that.
Yeah, I've done that in a pinch, and I was so scared because like, what if the
Yeah.
lights go off and I can't remember the chord progression?
Definitely. Or like it gets blown away or something.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea. I would also say like when songs are similar, like chords and even keys, I kind of like to think of what the general tone or feeling of the song is and differentiate it that way. Cuz like, let's see. One set I learned it was like 45 minutes and almost all the songs were in A and G.
Yes.
And so it was all kind of blending together, but then
Yes.
kind of remembering like the attitude of each song
Okay.
and the energy that I'm trying to add to it kind of help differentiate each one.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. Really good point. Yeah, I've had those sets where it's just like the same key over and over and over
Yeah.
again. And you're like, uh-oh. Because you don't have that like, okay, this is a totally different, or sometimes the same feel for like a
Yeah, definitely.
long set. Like some artists just love writing the same song in the same tempo, or same vibe of song in the same tempo. And that can be so hard.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. Do you when you're making your own music, do you try and keep that kind of stuff in mind, or do you just write each song as they come? Because I know it's not like everybody has kind of different ideas for like making EPs. Some people want to do like different feels, different keys, different vibes, or some people are trying to like really centered around one kind of thing, or just do it all piecemeal. What kind of approach do you take, if any?
I guess I wouldn't say I have an approach because I've only released one EP
Mhm.
and I didn't really have any like boxes I had to tick in mind.
Yeah.
It really just came from me kind of discovering that I liked writing songs.
Hmm.
And so I guess the biggest overlapping with those four songs was just that it was music that I liked and that I liked to listen to. And I was just happy that I discovered that, like, oh, I can write songs that are enjoyable for me to listen to.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was exciting. And since then, I haven't really had time to tackle, like, oh, I want to have a new project or any specific thing that I'm working towards.
Mhm.
It's really just been, I started posting just musical ideas on TikTok
Yeah.
because I was having fun making music, and I was like, oh, this is kind of bringing a lot more people to listen to it than I thought
Cool.
would happen.
Right.
So then it just turned into writing like a 30-second, 40-second thing, trying to do that every day as many times as I can a week,
Yeah.
which is great because I had so much practice and figured out what kind of music I like to make
Cool.
and what's fun for me to make.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to think about finishing things because I have
Okay.
this like backlog of just hundreds and hundreds of snippets that are like
Ooh.
30, 40 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's almost turned into my own roadblock where it's like I've started on this thing of just making small, short things every day. I mean, not as much anymore. And so it's hard for me to think about even making like an EP or something. It's like, well, how would I choose what to finish? Or it just seems like almost an insurmountable task.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's really fascinating. I'd love to get into that a little bit because I think that's something that is shared from every creative, every field. It's like, how do you finish? How do you pick which idea to see all the way through? And yeah, how do you get through those blockers? So yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. I'm super curious, just your experience. What helped you finish that first EP?
Oh, let's see.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
what really helped me was just having time because when I finished it, it was like during lockdown,
Yeah.
which was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like graduated college and then it went into lockdown and suddenly I had no more obligations and I couldn't even go outside.
Yes.
So it was, a blessing and a curse because obviously we're all sharing this hard experience where it's not something any of us had experienced before or known how to deal with it. But then also I had so much time to like finish an EP. I'd never done that before. I was like, oh, I actually can finish songs and work on them and not feel so much pressure to be moving on to new things and getting more things done. And
Yeah. What's good, guys? Scuba Dubert here for the Love Music More podcast, and I want to let you in on a little secret. One of my favorite new things, Minuendo lossless earplugs. So these are really, really, really cool. I've got 2 of them here. It comes in this awesome sweet box, but it comes with a bunch of little goodies like carrying case, tether, cleaning tools. But the real tech is in these little tiny lossless earplugs. My favorite thing about it is, one, you can swap out any of the included tips. So depending on the size of your ear canal, we're all built different. You can get a nice, comfortable fit. But there's also this little lever on these adjustable versions that can go from 7 to 25 decibels of cutting. So depending on if you're listening to nu metal or jazz, you can just hit the little lever and adjust in real time. And I think that's really, really cool. For the longest time, I was listening in those awful foam earplugs, and it makes the music sound like that. It just cuts off all of those high frequencies. And so I was always tempted to sneak them out a little bit. Oh, it's my favorite song, no earplugs. And then you get hearing damage. You have tinnitus after the show, and then you come back, you want to work in the studio, and guess what? Your ears aren't right. And that's why I love Minuendo, because you can just pop these in and have full fidelity with these lossless earplugs. There are 2 different versions. One is adjustable with the little lever, and then this one is fixed at 17 decibels. So check out Minuendo, Minuendo.com, or you can search them on Amazon and find Minuendo earplugs today. Get cracking. Yeah. That's kind of interesting too, because a lot of people share that. A lot of people had almost like a creative blocker removed when they were in lockdown. Yeah. It's funny because I don't know if it was necessarily that everyone took more time. It was just everybody kind of had more focus. And I don't know. It's interesting to think about because it's like, okay, how could you replicate a little bit of that?
I know.
Is it a cabin? Is it like a Bon Iver kind of situation? Like you go to a cabin, you got a tape recorder and you make something? Or, where's the magic that obviously COVID sucked, but could you pull any of that out to power creative like juices or finishing or like a deadline that isn't like imposing? Because I know that there's this weird tension, right? Where like you can put on a deadline and it can feel very capitalist and inhibiting rather than like something that's motivating.
Definitely.
Interesting to think about.
That's a good point. I hadn't really thought about that before, like trying to take some part of what was driving me to finish stuff from that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's actually
Cool.
that'll probably be helpful for me.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, I love these kind of conversations because I think they can be helpful for anybody, no matter what project you're working on. There's always blockers. There's always an excuse or something that you want to perfect, dial in further. It's so hard to know when something's done.
Yeah.
And also, I think yours is such an interesting case. And I'm sure a lot of other people feel that, of like, you're making stuff for social media that's all good stuff and it's validated because people are like, hey, I like this. I'm liking it. I'm viewing, I'm sharing it. And it's like, okay, how do I take that nugget and turn it into like a longer work? That's a tricky turn because a lot of them, they're kind of like, I've been listening to them. They're nice. They're like packaged, pleasant compositions unto themselves. And then it's like, okay, how do you extend it? That's tricky.
Yeah.
That's a tricky question.
Yeah, it's tricky. And now coming off this tour, though, I'm definitely trying to organize some ways to actually, because I do want to release more music.
Yeah.
And I've been playing some shows under my own name, like playing my own music, which has been really fun, but it feels like I just need to release more music to help propel that as well.
Totally get it. I do feel that where live shows can really point out where the gaps are in your catalog. It's like, I wish I had an up-tempo song here, or like, I wish I could get funkier here, and then you can be like, okay, I should write that. It can give you like your own little hook for what's next.
Definitely. Yeah, I was just thinking that the last show I've kind of been playing the same set of music I wrote, and I was like, this is all very like pretty down tempo. I gotta figure out some more stuff and get the energy up.
I swear that's like such a thing with internet versus reality. It's like social media and Spotify playlists and stuff, like down tempo, chill, like good vibes. That's all really nice. And then you get in front of a crowd that doesn't like really care about you very much. Like maybe like some of the people are there for you, but like it's kind of a mix. And then you're like, oh, I want to like have something to pump them up or like pull them in or convince them. And you're like, okay, like all of my stuff is chill.
Yeah, the chill epidemic.
Yeah, exactly. Which is good, and I like it, and it's a very nice vibe. But I've seen it play out. It's also funny. Like I went to Mild High Club, played in San Diego, and the audience was just there. I don't remember the name of the song, but they're just there for that one song that like got super TikTok famous. And the energy of it was so bizarre because there was like maybe 10-15% of the people there were like, I like this band. Like, I want to hear them take solos and extend and do their thing. And then the vast majority of people are like, boring.
Yeah. It's
I felt for the musicians. Like, definitely you could feel that on stage. To their credit, they were playing a big ballroom. They were, very close to sellout, and it was a great time. But weird energy between the like chill, almost smooth jazz, and most of the crowd doesn't know your songs until the one. Kind of bizarre.
Yeah, definitely. It seems that's kind of a trend with anytime someone is getting big traction on TikTok. It seems like there's a specific kind of audience that tends to come out. This last tour, it seemed like we were getting a lot of those. I mean, obviously we're the opener, so we're not going to have the most generous response, but it seemed like a lot of people were watching us as if they were like watching a TikTok or a YouTube video, like not super connected and engaged. Just kind of like, just like they're watching a concert on YouTube, which was interesting, which I've noticed that a little bit recently.
That is interesting. Especially in pop music, because that's like exactly what we're kind of trying not to be. We're trying not to be the like symphony academic / like passive experience. We're trying to get people to like dance and sing along and like yell back at us. Like those are my favorite concerts. There's like where you're taking a solo or something like that, and people in the audience are like yelling at you. It's like, oh, it's so fun.
Yeah, I want them to yell at me.
Totally, it's so fun. It's the right kind of vibe. It feels like a blues hall or gospel church, like that kind of tradition of just participation, call and response. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm curious about, your jazz background and the way that it plays into indie rock, because I've been hearing a lot more like jazz influence in indie rock, a lot more like extensions and interesting chords, even if it's like rooted on like pretty basic harmonies still mostly, but I'm hearing like a little bit more of like seventh chords and interesting little things going on. I'm curious like how you're feeling about that, your take on it, and where like indie rock is versus your jazz background, and if you like it, if you're bored, how do you feel?
Definitely. Yeah. When like making my own music,
Mhm.
I'm trying to pick out chord progressions and find the things that I found exciting when learning jazz standards in college. Like maybe some chord movements that really struck my ear, and trying to find out how to put that into a more indie rock like palatable package,
Yeah.
which has been really fun for me. And I love hearing like borrowed chords and kind of chords that are breaking conventional rules in music outside of jazz.
Mhm.
That's like when I'm excited by listening to indie rock is when I hear those chords that just kind of like slap you across the face and you're like, "Oh, that was really cool." Like anything where I'm listening to a song and it makes me pick up my guitar and
Yes.
be like, "Oh, what chord was that they played there?" Because it's not what I would have expected.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that stuff is really cool to me.
I agree. I totally agree. And I also think that like harmony, interesting harmony can unlock really cool melody or really cool like parts or voice leading and stuff like that. That like if I'm just writing to a static loop, I feel like I'm missing out on some level of like, oh, but I could go here. Especially like a last chorus. Like I love that in double choruses. That always gives me chills when you like start to reharm in the second half of a double chorus, or you push the melody in like a unexpected direction. Yeah, I'm a sucker for that stuff too.
Yeah, definitely. I was learning June guitar from Alex G's last album.
Oh, Alex G, cool.
Yeah. And that had
Listen to that album.
some really cool like
Sick. Yeah.
let's see. Yeah, like so we got an E major, B major, and then we get a minor chord, which is very nice. Oops. And then it goes to F sharp major. So already there's some chords that are being borrowed and they're taking you to places you wouldn't expect. And then, let's see. Oh, yeah. So then we have an A major 7, like a G sharp minor 7. And I really like using this, where you put that major 7 chord
Really tight.
before going back to the 1.
That's nice because you have that nice rub between the two notes right next to each other, and you can just hear those frequencies just kind of fighting with each other.
Yeah.
It is nice.
Yeah. And so like even just hearing that like flat 2 major 7 go into the 1, that was like looking back to being a freshman learning jazz and hearing people do that in like a standard.
Yeah.
Where they're going to the flat 2 major 7 to the 1. That was like so exciting for me. I was like, oh, I didn't even know you could do that.
Yes.
And it sounds great. And then hearing it in different types of music like this Alex G song, and kind of connecting those dots. It's fun for me, and looking at all the different harmony you can use.
Totally agree. Totally agree. That was one of the moments that unlocked a lot of things when I was starting to think about tritone substitution and moving the 5 chord, a minor third up or down.
Yeah.
And just like the little things that it unlocks. And because it's the same function. It's the same, like we're pushing you home, but just in an unexpected way. So when you arrive home, you're like, how did I get here?
Definitely. Yeah. One of
Super
my
cool.
favorite ways to think about like if I'm stuck with a chord progression, I have maybe like one chord that feels okay, but I want to do something else with. It's nice to just look at all the ways that you can get there,
Ooh, okay.
as opposed to thinking of like, where do I want to go next? Sometimes it's nice to have a destination set
Yeah.
and then think backwards and look at all the different places you can get there.
Love that.
And yeah.
It's really cool because I sometimes think that way with like rhymes or like a rhyming
yeah,
structure, you know,
definitely.
and applying the same kind of idea to harmony and backwards
Yeah.
direction. I really like that. Yeah, it's a good point too. And also like the ways, like I think that music theory is really interesting because there's like a series of implied probabilities or directions that you can go, and you can always break them. And deciding when you do the unexpected, when you do the expected to set up the next thing. It almost like a punchline in a joke or like
definitely.
pacing in a movie. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Because you don't want to just throw all your punches right at the beginning. You want them to land and just be satisfying, which is tricky. It's a whole thing in its own self. Like, where do I want in this whole chord progression? If I have one exciting idea, like where should I place it, and how do I make it so it's not overdone and over the top and have it be very satisfying? Yeah.
Yes. That's actually a really good way to put it because that was definitely a problem that I had when I first learned all of the stuff. It's like when you get a wah-wah pedal as a guitarist, it's like, I'm gonna put a wah-wah on everything. I'm
Definitely.
gonna sound like Slash on every guitar solo. And then eventually you're like, I use the wah-wah sometimes. It kind of just falls off. But like picking your spots, picking the moments to show that flash, and then also like having a bag doesn't mean like you put the bag on the table. It means you know when to reach for it. You know when that tool hits. And also I love the idea of like your emotional connection to the songs from song learning, but also your emotional connection to like songwriting of like, what am I actually trying to pull off? Working backwards from that, working backwards from your destinations. I think all of that layers together in a really cool compositional style. I think you can hear it in your mini compositions too, of like a richness, a depth, an emotion that you can just like pack in. And to be able to make something that's satisfying and that short is tricky. And I think you deserve credit for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, how can you entertain somebody and get them hooked and invested in a song so quickly that is so contained? That's really cool.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
But it's fun to try to pull it off over and over again.
Yeah, totally. That seems like the hardest part of like, all right, do it again. Like just the sheer volume that's required to pull that off. Was that daunting? How did you set a schedule? How did you just like kind of keep that happening?
Yeah, I guess I didn't really give myself too much of a schedule. I kind of dialed in about how long it takes.
Cool.
So like 1 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
And looking at my schedule every day, if there's any 1 to 3 hour gap when I'm home, not on tour, like I just got to do it.
Cool.
And definitely there's dips when you get burnt out, and it's hard because going on tour breaks up your routine so much. I mean, your routine is gone.
Yep.
For how many weeks, and that's definitely one of the trickiest part is coming home and trying to get yourself back into that routine. There were definitely times when I would go on tour and then it was too hard to try and get back on track making stuff every day, and just finding that motivation to like get back to a regiment.
Yeah. It's so hard. Just it's so easy to get knocked off of like a certain path, and it's so hard to begin again. And it's so hard to show yourself grace when it happens, because it happens to everybody. And I feel like there's this idea of, the people that like they work out every day, and it's like,
oh yeah,
like a lot of people that I know that like run marathons and stuff like that, they have to train again. Every single marathon, it's like they're starting from not in great shape and then they're ending with a marathon. And it's not, it gets easier because like you can train back up to that quicker, but they have to refine that routine and conquer that mountain again. It's not like they just stay in marathon shape unless you're an elite athlete and that's all you do. Most
Definitely.
people are riding that sine wave in everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting you say that. One of the things that helped me get back on to my routine these recent tours was that like the past 2 years or so, I really got into rock climbing,
Cool.
like indoor rock climbing.
Cool. Yeah.
And I'd never had an exercise I was excited about
Yeah.
where I'm like looking forward to do it every day and scheduling it.
Cool.
And so just having that where I'm back home and I'm like, oh, I can get back onto this exercise routine
Cool. Yes.
it actually really helped me because then I can like schedule my music making around that because I know for sure I'm going to try to do that every day and have a block of time. And then I can just like, oh, well, right after the gym, I can go straight into the office and just build off that momentum and organize them in those blocks.
Sorry to interrupt this very important broadcast, but it's time for one more advertisement for myself for this podcast. What I'm asking for is for you to rate it 5 stars, share it with your friends. This is like the most important thing for this podcast to grow. So if you want to do this, you go onto the podcast screen, right? You click on the ... on Spotify. Under there, it says rate show, and you go and you click it. 5 stars. If you could do that for me, that's the best way for the algorithms and all this stuff to share it out with the world. I know that it's a lot to ask, but if you could please just hit those 3 dots and then a 5 star, it would really help us out and helps us, get the word out and spread the love of music. So thank you. If you're listening on YouTube, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you so much. And here's the rest of the episode. A good technique. And it makes sense of like, you've got this anchor, you've got a rock.
Yeah, exactly.
I've heard this actually from a lot of musicians, especially people that have been doing it for a while, of like finding an activity. Like one bass player was all about like wrestling and like jujitsu and these little different things. But then they typically talk about how it helps their playing, or like I'm stronger, so I have less joint pain, or like et cetera, et cetera. Like there's kind of these additional benefits that, I don't know, a lot of musicians, including myself, like I didn't exercise for a long time while I was practicing, and things start to fall apart. It doesn't work very well.
Definitely.
Yeah. Especially with the road, because the road, you're saying, it is brutal where you just kind of get thrown into a blender. You're eating weird food at weird hours in different places. And
yeah, it's crazy.
what does it look like? What's some of your go-to like tour eats? Do you have any like fast food joints or steady orders? Like, all right, if there's a Chipotle, like I'm gonna be good.
When I first was touring, I was like, oh, this is so fun. We can get fast food after the show every night, and we're stopping at all these places. And after a couple goes of that kind of eating, I'm like done with that.
Yes.
It's too much for me.
Yes.
Yeah. So like this past tour,
Uh-huh.
the best thing has just been on a long drive, we'll just stop at Whole Foods.
Ooh,
and
yes.
get like green juices and chicken breast and like healthy snacks.
Yes.
Yeah, that's been definitely really helping me these past couple tours. Just
Makes sense.
feel good,
Yeah.
and then that helps you stay mentally good when your body isn't hurting from like Jack in the Box at 12 a.m. every night, and it's been great.
That's a great point. That'll mess you up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's such an interesting thing of just like when you first get into touring, it is like a party. And then after a little bit of time, it's like an athletic endurance sport.
Definitely.
And maybe part of its age. But like, I do think a lot of it is just like you recognize the cause and effect of treating your job that way.
Yeah. And you see it so clearly because if you're partying after the show every night, that's not going to be something that you're going to see at home, really. I mean, unless you're really a partier. But yeah, like every show, party, wake up early, show, party, wake up early. Like you feel it so quick and you see the effects very fast. As opposed to like every weekend, maybe it's not going to be so clear.
Yes, exactly. And especially at the different levels of touring, I think that the effect that a van tour can have on your body can be remarkable. Of just like narrow, small, a lot of driving, never laying down.
I know. Yeah. I think it's been like 2 weeks and my neck is just now starting to feel okay. It was getting a little brutal.
It sucks. I feel you.
Yeah.
These are the things that I like talking about because I don't think that they come up often when people talk about touring. Like, obviously, like, it's glamorous, it's fun, it's a party in its own right. But the the element of just pure travel, constant grind, and also the different levels. Like, some people are flying in private jets. A lot of people, most people are traveling around in a van. Some people are rotating driving duties, which that was brutal. Having a driver is like the ultimate luxury and safety thing.
Definitely. Yeah, no one is loopy driving at 12 a.m. with their energy drink like shaking in their hand.
Exactly. But these are the things that it's like, I don't know, when you are watching that band on tour, giving it back to them, like we're saying, not just like pretending like it's a YouTube video. It's like what they're putting themselves through to be there playing for you, what they're trying to pull out of their soul on show number 40. It's like, help them out, help them out in the audience a little bit.
Yeah, and no one really thinks about that side of the touring. It's so funny.
Yeah.
They just want the best show, perfect show, everyone to have all their energy up. And yeah, sometimes it's tough.
Totally. And sometimes some venues suck, like, or it's just a bad day, or the audio's cutting in and out, or some technical thing throws you off. It's super, super hard to stay centered. Like, one of the challenges that I've had with some of my shows is I've been like solo, just me and the house sound person and no technical help, and a cable goes out. It's like, all right, off we go. And then brutal. Like, now perform.
Yeah.
It's
push through all the stress.
Yep.
All the stuff you're screaming, and just push it to the back of your mind and just give the best show.
Exactly. And you have like the physical response of, like, I have to start playing soon and something's wrong. Heartbeat, cortisol. And definitely. It's just like, it's so hard to push that back down once that creeps in, especially like festivals. I'm sure that you've had that experience. Oh my God. It can be so stressful. Those quick changes.
You have 10 minutes and you're playing. Hopefully my guitar makes sound.
Yes, totally. There was one show where they had like a sub bass synth that they clearly did not check. Band's playing, they're playing live bass or whatever, switch to like the bridge, hit that synth. Literally, it felt like a cargo plane took off. Everyone in the audience was like clutching their chest.
Oh my Lord.
I was like, this classic festival sound of like, oops, that was at Unity. Because everyone's like, oh, my heart.
It's always the bass synth.
It's always the bass synth. Or some random sample. Like it's got like an SPD or something, and they trigger this crazy sound, and it's the loudest thing in the room.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I remember on the last show of tour, Sean was playing bass synth for like 2 or 3 of the songs. And so the song started, it's like guitar and tracks intro, and we're playing, and then when the synth comes in, he plays, and it was detuned a half step.
Oh my God.
And so he's playing a half step off, and we're just like, what is going on? And he just ran over to and he's not a Logic guy, so he's like, I can't fix this on the fly. Oh, no. He just muted his synth, unmuted the bass track, and then mimed it.
Great. Brilliant. Honestly, brilliant.
Quick thinking.
Yes.
It was great.
I love those moments where you see the person on the stage, like, kind of give that side eye of like, what the hell, dude?
Definitely. Good moments.
Good moments. Those stick with you. You feel those deep in your gut. I really want to ask you this one question that I ask all of my guests. I want to unpack it a little bit with you. This doesn't have to be our last question, but this show is called Love Music More. The segment's called Love Music Why. It's a simple question, but a tricky one. Can Cal, why do you love music?
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
simple but tricky.
Right.
I mean, this is probably cliche, but it's definitely just the community
Hmm.
and friends and being able to do these things with your friends and making new friends. And just, it's amazing how music can just make these connections. Yeah, I just like on tour, you're going in and you're not knowing anyone,
Yeah.
but then through playing music and just being on the road together, you make like bonds that are going to last a lifetime, which I think is awesome. Memories that'll last a lifetime. And it's all through something that we all share such love and passion for, which is awesome.
Hmm.
And being able to try our best to give that to the audience too.
That's really beautiful. I actually haven't heard much of that, and I totally agree. There's something real special about music people, and when you get to the level where you're actually like doing it professionally and going on the road and do it, that already cuts down the audience, the people that have been able to do that so much. And it's not just talent, but it's also like dedication and passion and sacrifice. So everybody that is out there kind of has to go through all of these gates in order to get to that point. So it's like this crazy selected audience or group that you get to be a part of and embrace. And naturally, you all have things in common because you're all kind of crazy people.
Definitely. Some screws loose.
Exactly. Like, why would you choose this?
Yeah.
And that makes it so special because those are your people. Like you all, even if you came from like completely different parts of the world or different musical traditions, you made similar decisions on what to spend your limited time on earth doing. And it's a beautiful thing to spend your time doing, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even like also looking at playing jazz, like before touring and all that and songwriting, that was really my focus in music. And it's so cool that everyone is like learning kind of a shared language together that can just spontaneously come together on stage or anywhere. Like I could go to someone who doesn't even speak English. If we both play jazz, I could start playing There Will Be Another You, and they can play with me, and think about all the shared experiences of that and learning the music and playing the music, and it's really cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
And I love how jazz really focuses on listening to each other too.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I feel like pop sometimes misses that. Not always, but sometimes we can be so focused on like locking to the track or like hitting the right genre or like looking cool on stage or whatever. But jazz is so, you feel so supported and so listened to and heard, and you're in conversation. I love that about it.
Definitely. One of the best things musically, I think, is when I'm playing jazz with people who I just like trust completely musically.
Yeah.
Because then I know whatever happens, like they'll be there to support me.
Yeah.
And I can support them. Yeah, I guess it's almost like musical therapy, like being there for each other.
Yeah.
But in a musical sense. It can be pretty deep, which I think is so hard to come by. So it's really cool.
I agree. And it's hard to communicate what that feeling is because I felt that too, of like you really could get to different heights through that support. Or like if you're just playing alone or just playing and recording in like a silo, you're just not as good at music compared to those moments.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's really like uplifting each other.
Yeah. I love that. Catching a special wavelength. So where can people watch your videos, hear your music, get connected, hire you? Where are the places for people to loop in?
Instagram
Cool.
is at Cagablan, Cagablan. And then my TikTok is something dumb. I post a lot of music stuff on there. think it's bloke underscore number underscore one.
Cool.
Because I made it in 2020 just to like watch videos.
Yeah.
I should change it. I'll change it one day. Yeah.
Kinda
And then
charming.
any streaming platform, O'Callahan, you can find my music. And I'm really gonna release more music. So
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. You're going to find that whatever zen you had, and
Definitely.
channel that back in. Well, it was an awesome time chatting. I really loved hearing about your path, hearing about your tour stories. It was super, super fun.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. This was
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank you. Take it easy.
Bye.